What's good, fam? Welcome back to the Russell Muscle YouTube channel. Today we got a different vid for y'all, not an installation video. I got my wife with me, and I'm about to teach her how to drive a manual Challenger. So without further ado, let's get into the vid.
He trusts me, y'all.
I'm gonna do first is a quick update. I had a couple people asking, so only thing different I did, I put some LED bulbs in there. I had somebody to do it. But lane headlight still working. Body kit still looking dope. LED marker light still working. Land tail light still working. Cut the 4-ways on so y'all can see. Alright, so you see right here, all your gears are marked. So this first, all the way to the left straight up, second straight back, go up, this neutral in the middle. And then this
So when
third,
do it need to be in neutral?
when it's parked. It's third, it's fourth, it's fifth, sixth, then all the way up, left. I mean to the right is a reverse. You can use neutral if you at a red light or you just sitting, or if you want to, you can stay in first, but you can put it in neutral. That way you ain't just gotta hold the clutch down. So neutral at a red light. And when I'm parking, I normally leave it in gear. I don't leave it in neutral, but you can leave it in neutral when you parking and just have the emergency brake in. Or engaged, but yep. That's first, that's second. Then go back up, that's neutral. Third, fourth, fifth, sixth, which I don't really use sixth, and all the way over, that's reverse. Okay. But that's neutral. Anytime you feel it going side to side, you know you're in neutral. You ain't in gear.
Okay. And so when do I know to shift from? So if I'm starting in first, why would I need to go to 2?
Well, you would need to go to second because, like I said, the RPM. So you don't never want to get to that red line, and you will hear it in the motor. But once you can shift all the way up to 5,000, 5,500, but you don't need to do that. So once you get to, I'll say 3,000, then you shift to second. But you'll hear the motor like kind of revving high. And it almost, once you get used to it, you'll hear the sound of when it's time to shift. But shift around 3,000.
And so me shifting is making the car go faster, right?
It's going into a higher gear, yeah.
Okay.
So the only time you probably could ride it out without shifting up is probably like in fourth or fifth gear.
And so then when I get ready to drop it back down or to move the gear, so I press the clutch and then
so whenever you
go back down.
When you dropping a gear or you downshifting, that's what it's called. You're gonna brake, gas, clutch, lower gear. Then you're gonna ease off the clutch and ease on the gas.
Okay, that's a lot.
Yeah, it sounds like a lot. You just not learning, but like I said, you do it a while, you get used to it.
Okay.
For those of y'all who don't know, when I got this car, I never drove a manual car before. And so I learned how to drive it on the way home. Stalled out like 4 times. All right, it's in gear, so off the foot off the brake, ease off the clutch real slow. You gotta do it real slow.
This is hard. It's like mental.
Yeah, it is. I mean, but it's your first time doing it, so it's gonna seem like a lot.
Nothing to the gas, right?
Nothing till you feel it catching. So the car probably gonna roll a little bit as you ease off of it. Once you feel the car roll a little bit, ease on the gas. It's slow, as soft as slow as you easing off the clutch, you want to ease on the gas that slow.
I'm still easing up.
It ain't catching. As soon as you feel it catching, you will know. Now it's catching. You see the car rolling, so ease on the gas. Don't hit the gas, you ease on it. See, now you're in first gear.
Why did I have to push the clutch in while I was pressing the gas? I mean, why no the brake?
You push the clutch in, you pressing because the clutch basically disengage the transmission. So if you try to brake and you ain't using the clutch in the manual, it's gonna stall out because the transmission is spinning, the car wanting to go, but you hitting the brake at the same time. Okay. So it's not an automatics automatically do that, but this one you got to do everything manually. So you pushing the clutch in to disengage the transmission, and then once the transmission disengage, you can brake because it's basically when the clutch pushes in, it's like you in neutral.
Okay.
All right, that was in first gear. So this first. So like I was just saying, emergency brake released. I'm not even on the brake, and it's in first gear. Car ain't going nowhere. The clutch all the way down, so I'm gonna ease off the clutch. And I feel it catching, and now I'm about to give it some gas and ease on the gas. So now I'm rolling. Clutch in, shift back to second. Ease off the clutch, ease on the gas. Looking at my RPMs, I'm at about 3,000. I'm gonna shift again to third. Clutch in, shift to third, ease off the clutch, ease on the gas. Also, while I'm driving, like once you in gear and you rolling, you can use the brake a little bit, long as you don't brake too much to where you'll have to downshift. You're gonna watch your RPMs to make sure your RPMs don't drop to like around 1,000 or under 1,000. That's how you know you're too low. And then you can stall out. But I'm in third gear now, so give it some gas. RPM about 3,000. Clutch in, shift back to fourth. Ease off the clutch, ease on the gas. So now we going what, 50 miles per hour now. And I'm gonna push the RPMs this time. Clutch in, shift to second, ease off the clutch, ease on the gas. It's third gear. It's fourth gear. So even with this, I'm going like 45. So 45, I can be in fourth gear. So I'm in neutral now. Rev the engine, clutch in, shift back to fourth, ease off the clutch, ease on the gas. And now I'm in gear rolling in fourth gear when I was in neutral. And so even with that, another thing that helped me when I first was learning was all right, so this is reverse, so reverse the same thing. I'm in reverse, easing off the clutch, easing on the gas. So anytime you hit the brake, you want to have your clutch all the way pushed in before you start braking. Or if you driving, like I said, if you driving and you in gear, man, you can brake long as, like I said, you don't brake to where the RPM's dropping down too low to where the car stall out. And so I ain't no professional at teaching, so I hope this making sense to y'all. But this how I started learning. Like I said, my clutch still good. I had the car 3 years. I ain't had no issue with the clutch. And so
what can happen to the clutch?
You can burn the clutch out. Another thing that's challenging when you're driving the manual is when you're on the hill, especially if somebody like a foot behind your bumper. As soon as you're easing off the clutch, you got to hurry up and catch it. Make sure you're easing on the gas so you don't ease off the clutch and roll back into somebody's car.
Clutch.
So clutch in, your foot on the brake.
No.
Foot on the brake, clutch in, then release the emergency brake.
All the way down. Release.
Yeah.
Okay.
So anytime you put your foot on the brake, you can go ahead and release the emergency brake. You don't need it.
Okay. Clutch all the way down.
Yeah, clutch all the way down. So now the clutch all the way down, you're gonna bring this all the way to the left and put it in first gear.
All right.
So now it's in gear, you can let it go.
Let what?
Yeah, the gear, yeah, it's already in gear. So now, take your foot off the brake. The car might roll because it's a slight hill.
Okay.
Your foot off the brake?
Yeah.
All right, so ease off the clutch like you was doing. I don't feel it rolling, so ease on the gas just as much as you easing off the clutch. You gonna give it gas. You good now, go. Keep going. So if you want to shift a second, keep going. Wait till you get to the top of this hill. All right, she got it. be flat. So clutch in, shift back to second.
Clutch all the way down?
Yeah, don't touch the brake. Clutch in.
Clutch in.
Shift straight back.
Go back.
Now ease off the clutch on the gas.
Okay.
There you go. What I was saying earlier, when you on the hill, you don't want to roll into the car behind you. And here in Atlanta, most people going to be right up on your bumper.
Yeah.
So what you want to do is, as soon as you get off of the brake, you want to already be catching it, ready to roll forward. And so that's why it's good to practice when you're not in traffic or you're not around other cars, especially on hills, because it's a quick motion, a quick process you got to do. So there ain't no time to have the clutch in and you sitting waiting.
Yeah, because that's what I'm doing.
You're going to have to help and catch. I mean, ain't nobody behind us, so you good now.
But I'm nervous.
So you good. Take foot off the brake. If it roll back, it's good because ain't nobody here. All these businesses closed. So foot off the brake, ease off the clutch, and give it a little gas. Yeah, that's quicker. There you go. She just took off quick. All right, now clutch in. Or unless you can just make a U-turn. So you're keeping in first gear.
Okay.
Stay and get over here in this lane. All right, now shift to second.
So down.
Clutch in.
Clutch in.
Shift back. Ease off the clutch. Ease on the gas.
I think I was
You gave it too much gas.
Yeah.
All right, and then go to third. Do the same thing. Clutch in.
Let
third.
go off the gas.
Yeah.
And
Yep. Now you in third. So ease off the clutch. Ease on the gas. All right, she done got it up to third gear. Going 20 miles per hour. Anytime you come to a stop at the stop sign, clutch in and brake. And then you want to remember, so you came to a complete stop, you in third gear. So you want to take it out of third and put it back in first.
after I stop?
Yeah, after you stop.
Okay.
I mean, you can do it anytime the clutch is in. Because when
Okay,
the clutch is
okay.
in, that disengage the transmission, so you can shift it back anytime.
Okay, so I need to get out the clutch. Wait, I need to get out the brake.
Yeah, you need to get off the brake. And once you, like I say, once you get it, you're going to realize, like, the brake and the gas.
Stalled out.
That's
Okay.
fine. So just clutch in,
Clutch in.
foot on the brake, and crank the car.
Okay, so brake off.
So what you thought about it?
It's hard. It's not really hard. It's just, it takes time.
Yeah, it takes time.
I'm a hands-on person, so it's just like repetition for me.
Yeah, she did good though for her first time ever driving it, but she said she gonna stick with her automatics.
Yeah, but it's just day one, so I still wanna.
Which is good for me because I ain't gotta worry about her wrecking this one.
No, I'ma still learn. No.
Yeah, she did good on her first time driving a manual. Like I said, I'm not a professional teacher or instructor. Taught myself when I went and got this car from the dealership. So if anybody got some tips that'll help anybody trying to learn how to drive a manual, feel free to give that advice out. But appreciate y'all for tuning in. Stay locked in for the next one. There's a lot going on in the world, so stay prayed up, stay safe. Much love and God bless.